Welcome back. So again, I'm joined in studio by Michael Brennan, who's here talking to us about what's happening in Cavan football. So Mickey, we'll continue with the county teams and the under-21s who've been very, very successful. Talk us through what's been going on there.
Yeah, it was another great year at under-21 level for Cavan, winning another Ulster title, third one in a row, our fourth Ulster final in a row.
Yeah.
But although we did win the Ulster title, we didn't get to the All-Ireland final. We were beaten in the semi-final by Cork. Cavan very unlucky. I think we set our stall out to defend against Cork because Cork were, favourites to win, and we were rank outsiders to win the All-Ireland at under-21 level. And we set our stall out to defend. And it was only in the second half when we decided to attack the Cork team and really go at them that Cavan got going, and we ended up losing by a point in the end.
So it's just too little too late.
Exactly, yeah.
So really
Cork had built up a 5-point lead before we really got going, and it was very unlucky not to get a draw in the end. With the last kick of the game, Cavan won a free kick. They brought back on Louise O'Reilly from Mullahorn, who had been taken off probably harshly. He was played very well and was taken off, but they brought him back on. There was a free kick taken from the right hand side of the football pitch, which suited a left foot player, and Louise O'Reilly was the only left footed player on the under-21 team, so they brought him back on to take the free, and unfortunately he dragged it to the right and wide, and the referee blew the final whistle, and we were unfortunate to miss out on getting. I think that if they'd got it to extra time, that Cavan would have went on to win it, because their fitness, you could see, was much more superior to the Cork team.
Yeah.
And I think we probably would have won by 3 or 4 points if we got it to extra time. But it just wasn't to be.
I'm sure we're very disappointed. Yeah, because they played so well in the Ulster final. It was such a shame. So they went in with. As you were saying, with the team really to beat.
Well, that's it. Cavan, they really excelled again this year. And it just shows that we are doing something right at grassroots, at underage levels. That they've got the coaching right, and these players are coming on. And it's not by chance that we ended up in 4 Ulster finals in a row at under-21 level, and to win 3 of them is fantastic. Now we just need to push on and maybe get an All-Ireland out of it.
I suppose our future of Cavan football is looking safe in the hands of the under-21s. But
well, that's it. Yeah,
still growing.
If you can continuously get to All-Ireland under-21 or Ulster under-21 finals and All-Ireland under-21 finals, you'll get maybe 2 or 3 from each panel that will make it to your senior team. So, if you look at what we've done the last 4 years, if we get 3 players from each of them, that's 12 guys that are going to make an impact on the senior team.
Exactly, very prominent players. Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's looking good.
It's looking good, definitely.
Don't put away the flags and jerseys just yet.
Yes, that's it. And just on another note, for the underage in Cavan, I just want to say well done to St Pat's of Cavan, who beat St Pat's of Mahara to reach the Brock Cup final. St Pat's of Mahara, very, very strong school there. They had recently won the Hogan Cup. They beat St Pat's of Navan. There's a whole lot of St Pat's going on here.
Yeah, I know. It was the 2 different St Pat's.
But they had beaten St Pat's of Navan in the Hogan Cup final only weeks previously, and I think they'd one definite player who was playing on this Brock Cup team. And St Pat's went out, and they did very well, and it's great to see. Yeah. So that's another Cavan.
A feeder team.
Exactly,
as well.
A feeder team for the Cavan minors or the Cavan under-21s.
But St Pat's have been very successful over the last number of years. And
that's it.
There's been great work done, and we had Finbar Riley in, and just I suppose to compliment the work that's been done, I suppose, by the county board. It's great to see it. Yeah.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. The county board have a lot of coaches that are in the schools around Cavan at the minute, but these coaches are all ex-county players, and so there's really experience going to these schools and giving them the right direction and the right training and coaching. So hats off to the county board. It really is working.
It is definitely working, and it's great to be able to see results when they put in that effort. So
but that's it, and people need to be, especially with the Cavan senior team, we need to be a bit more patient. Because it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight, and we need to let it take its course. Let the training and coaching come through at underage level and get a few of these under 21 teams doing well, and then maybe 3 years' time we'll be dominating Ulster again. It'll be fantastic at senior level.
Exactly. So then Peter O'Reilly, obviously he's working with the under 21s, and then Terry Hyland, I suppose he's worked with the under 21s, been very successful in the past. He's getting his teeth stuck into the senior team. I mean, where do we stand now? We're preparing now for the
that's it,
the championship.
Terry was involved in the 3 years previous with the under 21s, and a lot of the players that were on this year's under 21 team would have been involved with Terry last year as well. So Terry does know a lot of these players, and it's the right progression. Terry was there for 3 years, maybe 4 years at under 21 level. So now it's time for him to move with those players to senior level. And I think the right man is at the helm, and I think that given time, Terry and these lads will definitely bring cups and success back to Cavan. Just on that, Cavan are preparing for the Ulster Championship. The Ulster Championship is on Sunday the 19th of May at 2 p.m. in Breffni Park, and where we take on Armagh.
So what's our Armagh team? How are they looking at the moment?
Well, Armagh, like ourselves, are in a bit of transition, but we're probably a little bit ahead of them. We were steady enough this year, although we didn't get promoted from Division 3. We put in some good performances. Now there were some bad performances as well in the last one against Roscommon, and does stick out. But we weren't in a relegation battle this year, which is great to see, and maybe next year to step up to Division 2 would be the right thing for Cavan. The one unfortunate thing about it is that Cavan have lost Gearóid McKiernan. We spoke about that in the first half.
It's a big loss.
Gearóid did his cruciate ligament in.
So he's like a very prominent player and one of their key players on the team. So we'll obviously have a big kind of gap now in the panel with him missing.
Well, he is a huge loss, that's for sure. But that's why you have a panel. You have to have a good, strong panel so that you can take knocks like this. And David Givney, he's up there with Gearóid. The two of them are outstanding midfielders, and David Givney this year showed it in the Railway Cup, and he showed it winning a Sigerson medal as well this year. He's been fantastic, and what they usually do with David is they usually stick David in corner forward and bring him out as a third midfielder, but now he's going to have to step up to the plate and take over at midfield. So we're lucky in the sense that we do have a good substitute for Gearóid. But obviously, we'd be stronger if Gearóid was there as well. He'd only improve the team. But Cavan went out anyway on Friday night. As I said, it's been a topsy-turvy season. We've had some good performances, bad performances. But leading up to this Ulster Championship, you always want to get your team winning spirit. So they played Meath on Friday night at the opening of a pitch in Bettystown, and they won 3-14 to 1-13. John McCutcheon scored 2 goals. John McCutcheon played at midfield and scored 2 goals, and Eugene Keaton, they're the 2 players that stood out. Eugene Keaton got 4 points as well. Right,
so there is players that maybe haven't made such an impact previously are starting to really come into their own.
Players are going to have to. We're going to need men to step up now. When Gearóid is gone, and each player has to be a leader. That's just it. And the likes of Eugene Keaton there as well. He'll step into the fray. He'll be probably thrown in at full forward, with Martin Dunn one side of him, and Eugene is a big, strong man, well able to get scores. David Givney is well able to field the ball at midfield. So although we are losing Gearóid, I do think we've got strength and depth to cover it, and the Armagh game should be a cracker. So I
suppose Terry Hyland's going to have to, and his backroom team, take a good look at this team and make a few changes.
Yeah, well, they've got so many players to choose from. For each line. I was just looking at it earlier on, and in the full back line you've got Ronan Flanagan, Rory Dunn, Killian Clark, Podge Riley. There's a few more I could name off there,
I'll keep going.
But Ronan Flanagan and Podge Riley have got serious experience. Killian Clark has played with the under 21s, and Rory Dunn as well. At half back, Oisin Mina, Damien Barkey, Damien O'Reilly, James McEnroe, Alan Clark, John McCutcheon. You know, all these lads can step in, and just a mention there for Alan Clark, who was announced as the Cavan senior captain for the year. Fantastic. I think it's a great appointment.
Yeah.
Alan Clark of Kings Court.
He'll be the senior captain.
He's the senior captain for this year. Yeah. So and alongside him, you've got an abundance of talent to pick from. Midfield, you've Tomas Corr, David Givney, Killian Clark can play anywhere from midfield right back. Darragh McVitie as well. Just to go on, and then the half forward line, you can pick from Cian Mackey, Martin Riley, Mark McKeever, Barry Riley, Niall Murray, Niall Smith, and then the full forward line: Martin Dunn, Niall McDermott, Eugene Keating, Kevin Tierney, Chris Connery, Jack Brady. Like, the list goes on. Like, it's going to be very, very hard for Terry to pick the team this year, because in fairness, we've got some fantastic footballers and we've got strength and depth, and you know, if things go well, you know, against Armagh, we could have an easy run to an Ulster final. The easier side of the draw is what I mean. I don't mean like it'll be easy to get to a final. If Cavan beat Armagh, the winner plays for Fermanagh, and that's in the Ulster semi-final, or the Ulster. That's the first round. So
if they beat
proper.
Armagh now,
If they beat Armagh, they play for Fermanagh in the first round proper, and then the winner of that plays Monaghan or Antrim.
Right,
you know, in the Ulster semi-final. You know, so it's very doable this year for Cavan to get to an Ulster final. Now, I don't know about winning an Ulster final this year. I think that's maybe a couple of years down the line, but you know, they definitely have a good chance of progressing. And it'd be great to see us, you know, making strides again. So
it's like Jim McGuinness, his right hand man, I suppose, was Rory Gallagher. Who's Terry Hyland's kind of right hand person, or who's he kind of he has team?
Well, he has Anthony Ford there with him, and just like Rory Gallagher, Anthony is an ex county footballer as well.
Yes,
and he's a good lad, Anthony. He's a bit fiery and a bit feisty, but that's passion, and that's what you need in Gaelic football at the same time, absolutely. You know. And just as you mentioned, Rory Gallagher is he played for Cavan as well. He's
hopping.
He's a Fermanagh man, played for Fermanagh, played for Cavan. I think he could have been
played for Sligo now at one point.
He probably could have. He could have.
Dublin.
Dublin. Antrim. Yeah. And now he's in Donegal.
Right.
So,
there could be a film made about him. Micky, that's great. Look, that has been very insightful, and thank you very much for coming in and filling us in about what's been going on. That saved me having to sit back and read the paper. So that was great. Thank you very much, and we really wish all the teams the very best of luck, and of course we wish Cavan senior team the best of luck in their next game against Armagh. So that's it from All About Sport for this week. I will be back again at the same time next Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock. So thank you for watching, and it's goodbye from me, Louise O'Reilly.